Hi everyone, my name is Tino Merkaba and today I'm making a video about Cancer moons, an addition to my moon sign series. I feel like I should have done this like a few days ago. Well, like yesterday, because that was a Cancer moon, but like it's like 3 degrees Leo moon now. But I'm gonna do Leo moons after this, like today, just to like, go with the moon sign flow. But anyway, moon sign, right? Cancer moon sign. First of all, let's just say Cancer is at home here because Cancer loves being in the moon. Just like Libra is at home in Venus, just like Taurus is at home in Venus, just like Gemini is at home in Mercury, Cancer is at home in the moon, right? But let's talk about what is Cancer first, right? So Cancer is ruled by the fourth house. It's ruled by the moon itself, right? So the fourth house and the moon are like basically doing the exact same thing. So the fourth house. Oh, and Cancer's cardinal, right? Meaning it's initiative. So it's like constantly pushing out shit. It's like constantly active, right? But what is the fourth house? So the fourth house is how you gain emotional security, right? Emotional stability too. It's opposite the tenth house, which is like status and like actual physical stability, aka money. But one thing that emotional stability can derive from, or something money can also like bring emotional stability, right? Because it brings surety, reassurance that hey, we're always going to have food and we're always going to have blankets and water and essentials that make us feel good, right? So in a way, 10th house and the fourth house, aka your IC and your MC. I don't know midheaven. I mean, MC stands for midheaven, but I don't know what IC stands for. But IC. I mean, I feel like you all know what IC is basically. It's basically part of a cardinal cross. But yeah, so yeah, that's both of them are basically predicated to stability. Only one is about like my stability of like my reputation, and one is my family members. And also, I just want to apologize for the lighting. So the electricity in my house just went off, so I'm using these battery powered fairy lights, and it's kind of gloomy. So I think maybe it's kind of perfect, because it's like homey vibes, and this is like Cancer moon, which is all about the homey and feeling comfy and shit, you know. But yeah, let's talk more about Cancer moon, right? So, I was saying, fourth house. So the fourth house is basically your emotional stability, right, and how you like to be nurtured, which is the exact same thing as the moon, right? Only the moon is basically your reactions, whereas the fourth house isn't really how you react. That's just basically an area of life. So the fourth house is basically like the area of life where you feel like most comfortable at, and where you feel most nurtured at, and how you were nurtured as a child, and how you continue to be nurtured, and like just basically your family members, could also be your family members too, or just people that you consider family, what, like how you consider what you consider to be family, or to be somewhat comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? For you, depending on what your fourth house is. My fourth house is Taurus, so like how I feel comfortable is like in warm shit, comfy shit, sweet things. It's very similar to Cancer. And Cancer and Taurus have a lot in common because they both share. Only in Taurus is exalted in the moon and Cancer is home in the moon, right? But as I made the example in my Taurus moon, when I was saying they're both predicated on comfort. Only Cancer would be the actual feeling of comfort. The feelings, the internal things that you can't see, touch, or taste. It's the feeling of it. And then Taurus is able to take those feelings and then manifest them into 3D. And also, I just dyed my hair, so my nails are like weird as frick. I think they look cool though. I don't know, they look cool as hell. But I dyed it like maroon. It doesn't really show. But anyway, it's not about me right now. But yeah, basically Taurus knows how to derive those emotional comfort feelings and then make them physical, right? So I made the example of it's the same as food, right? So food is the actual physical food that you can taste and hear and touch is the Taurus aspect, right? But depending on if your grandmother made it and like the soul food, so the feeling of the food that made you feel comfortable, that's the Cancer aspect. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically kind of working in the same aspect. Only Cancer is the feeling of it, and then Taurus is actually bringing the feeling down into manifestation, into 3D, right? But more about Cancer. So Cancer is ruled by the fourth house, and I just explained what the fourth house what the fourth house is, right? And then if it's the moon is the reactions, right? It's basically the kind of not the unconscious state, not like the 12th house or Neptune, but it's more so like how you are internally, what makes you feel comfortable internally. Like this is your world that you live in, you know, like when you speak to yourself, it's like how do you speak to yourself, you know, when you're like not talking out loud, what are you saying inside of yourself? And most of the time that is your moon sign. If you have a Cancer moon sign, right? And also, by the way, I'm gonna do Cancer in the houses in my next video, so check that out. But if you have a Cancer moon, right, the so-called voice in your head is more so about how do you feel, you know, how are you feeling. This is all about the feels, not like Venus feeling. This is more about the emotions, like I don't know if there's like a word to say how are your emotions, because we usually say how do you feel about that, you know. And even though feelings are dealing with Venus, but you know, Venus and the moon have like a, it's like a mother-daughter relationship type of thing, so they're both dealing with the feelings. I don't know, you see, there's no other word to explain emotion. Like, you, to explain your emotion, you have to ask how do you feel. You don't say how do you emotion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's really weird, but you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah, so Cancer being ruled by the moon, and I said the moon is your feelings, right? Well, your emotions and how you react to things and the world that you live in, right? So Cancer likes to feel comfortable. This is their natural state, right? Because they are cardinal, right? And cardinal means initiating, and they are a water sign, right? And they're ruled by a watery house, or a watery planet, because basically the moon is like a watery, anything that's like unseen, that's water. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, okay, but we'll talk about Scorpio and Pisces in another video. So, but with Cancer though, Cancer being like the privacy part of it, you know, like, because how you grew up, there's certain things that in your life, or that your parents taught you, that I don't know, that you got taught by people that you grew up with, your siblings, your grandma, your grandmother, I mean your grandfather, that this like specific things that they taught you, you know, like they taught you how to do specific things, or they somewhat like nurtured a specific aspect of your life, right? And because water is about the past, right? Water is the past, earth is the present, fire is the future, and then air is everything. It's like, it's in all realms, so it's abstract, right? So Cancers, and along with other water signs, they literally like, they're not living in the past, but they more so like tend to past needs, right? So aka their mothers, specifically speaking about Cancers now, right? So Cancers, because they learn so much, or because their childhood was a very tender state in their lives, right? And like when Cancers grow up, they literally cling on to those teachings that they had, right? Because once again, Cancer is exalted in Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of like wisdom and knowledge and philosophy, and basically just higher education, and like experiences, you know, because every experiences gives you wisdom, right? But with this, because it's water, you gain emotional wisdom. So Cancers have emotional wisdom because when they grew up, they learn from their mothers, or they learn from specific circumstances in their life. So let's just say a Cancer grew up poor, right? So they're gonna hold on to those feelings of feeling poor, and depending on if it was a comfortable state or not, they're gonna hold on to those, like, so they're gonna hold on to whatever memory that they have growing up, right? So let's just say they did grow up poor, right? So and also I have a lot of Cancer rising friends, but even Cancer moon friends, and a little bit of Cancer sun friends also that grew up poor, right? So let's just say this Cancer friend knows that their circumstances is shitty as hell, and they're growing up poor, right? So they're holding on to that, and they're like, well, growing up poor sucks. We can't actually be comfortable because now we have to do uncomfortable things like move around, and how we're reacting now isn't in a way of bringing us like emotional state. I mean, like a comfortable emotional state. So guess what they do? Because they have all those experiences of being like, oh my god, that was a shitty place, or that was a shitty state in life. What they do is they have wisdom, right? Because now they've experienced that part. They have wisdom on, oh wow, that kind of life sucks, right? So now, because they've developed all the emotional, like they've developed emotional. baggage, call it that, and they know what it's like to be poor. So now, boo boo boo, they work. They use the 10th house kind of energy, right? The opposite energy. They use their or not even opposite. So they use their own emotional, or they tend towards their emotional stability, and then they start wanting to work for things, like work really really hard. Like do anything by any means necessary in order to gain emotional comfortability, right? So if that means being emotionally manipulative, then a Cancer will do that. Or if it means somehow like using emotions to get what they want, or even just kind of I don't know, just doing anything that they can so that they gain emotional like comfortability, right? Because here's the thing that they share with Capricorn, right? Is both of them are like, they're driven by fear, right? And especially if they grew up poor, they don't want to be poor again, because in their head it's like, oh shit, like being poor sucks, right? So it's the fear that drives them, the fear of being poor that drives them, right? So yeah, that's that, right? And then another thing with Cancer moons, right? Cancer's at home here. So a lot of people, okay, now see, it's kind of tricky with Cancer here, because even though Cancer is at home here and Cancer loves being in the moon, so it's like it can, it's able to choose if it wants to be moody or not. It chooses if it wants to it's able to know how to kind of set the mood, and Cancers have this thing where they don't really like to, it's all about basically if they feel comfortable, they don't really necessarily care about how you, okay, not to say that they don't care about how you feel, but if how you feel doesn't match with how they feel, then you're kind of like threatening how they feel. You know what I'm saying? If you're not matching their vibe, then they're going to get moody with you, right? Because it's about comfortability. Once again, it's about the home, right? And the home is like somewhat the most important place, because that's where that's where you get healed. That's where you get nurtured. Do you know what I'm saying? That's when shit that's how you get recharged, basically. Just think of the time when you were young and you were sucking on your mom's boob. That's like some Cancer fourth house shit there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting nurtured, you're getting the love that you need, you're getting the how do I call this, the energy that you need. You know what I'm saying? But internally, like internal energy. So that's what Cancers do, right? Like, that's why Cancers are very on their comfortability. You know what I'm saying? So it's not no, and yes, they will understand where you came from, but sometimes like it could be a thing where a Cancer could be not so much stubborn, but so much in their own shell, and if you somewhat aren't resonating with that shell, then you're gonna get snapped, right? Then they can get moody, and then they can also, like, depending if you have like an argument, and then this one person's like, oh my god, Cancer, you just never care about how I feel, it's all about how you feel. And the Cancer's like, oh my god, I always care about how people feel. Okay, nobody cares how I feel. And then Cancer can play the victim roles. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, see, here's the thing with Cancers, right? Not even Cancer moon, but like I feel Cancer energy in general, like, because they're so I don't want to say open to so many energies, not like Pisces or like Aries where they're like completely open to everything, but they feel everything. Like they feel every single thing. So when they get hit by an emotion that wasn't theirs, they're gonna somewhat react to it, right? And they're gonna try to like pinpoint where it came from, right? And because it hit them and it didn't resonate with their energy, they're gonna get moody because of that. And that those emotions can come from like the slightest thing that you said. You could have said hello, but just the way you said hello, you know what I'm saying, that it could have triggered them to be moody. It could have been, and this is something that they share with Gemini, especially some Cancer moon signs. They can kind of have like Gemini traits a little bit. They just kind of like switch, just depending on like specific things that you say. But Cancers are generally moody, and they're like the sign after Gemini, so they have a lot of similarities anyway. But specifically Cancer moon signs, because Cancer sun signs, it's more so about like you can see their moodiness, right? But it's the difference that they have with Gemini is that Gemini, their moodiness comes from like a thought process of shit. So it's also kind of like whatever the Gemini is thinking about, that's kind of like the personality that they're going to be showing. But with a Cancer, it's not so much about the thoughts, it's really just about the feeling. Because like I said, they could have thought about something and then it would have made them feel a specific way, and then they become moody, you know. But with a Gemini, it's just really about what they're thinking about at the specific moment that makes them become that particular person, or who they're talking to at that moment, you know. So with the Cancer, it doesn't even matter who you're talking to. You can be talking to anybody, but if really anyone says something, or like sit in a specific way, or like, I don't know, looks in, like, I don't know, just does something that the Cancer's like, whoa, what the fuck? And that's the thing, Cancers can take things really personally, kind of like an Aries, but different to an Aries, because at least an Aries will get over quickly. If a Cancer thinks that you're giving them stank, if a Cancer moon thinks that you're giving them like stank attitude or something, or you did something and the Cancer moon was like, oh, well, was that to me? They're gonna take it personally, right, and get like emotional about it. But we won't get over it as quickly as an Aries would be, you know. They'll try to see, okay, did you actually, was that actually directed to me? And then if they see that, okay, that was directed to me, then they kind of like, they do that tit for tat type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of get into Sagittarius energy, Gemini energy, and they play tit for tat, even Scorpio energy a little bit. They try to get you back, you know, just like snap you back, you know. But okay, yeah, I'll say most of the time, the friends that I have that have Cancer moons usually had like a really effed up relationship with their mothers. Even though Cancer, like I said, Cancer is homia, so you would think, okay, you probably had a very nurturing mother, da 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 da. It could be like that. You could have had a very nurturing mother. You could have had a very overprotective mother, you know, like overly protective. Even though she gave you everything that you needed, you know, had all your favorite foods, she kind of, it's kind of like, you see, here's what you share with maybe like someone with a Pisces in the 4th house, or even a Pisces moon a little bit, is that your parents may have like covered you in so much protection, or covered you with like this illusion that, okay, you should be here at home and where it's safe, you know. And then when you go out in the world, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, you get into that Saturn energy, because like you get into that Saturn energy because we are in a Saturnian world life. You know, we live in a Saturnian world where it's all about status and what you can offer and shit like that. And that's opposite to the moon, because like Saturn is like, okay, you're crying, but can you make money off of your crying? Can you get acting and then like do something with that? And then the moon is like, oh my god, how dare you? I just want to like, let's just sit here and acknowledge our feelings. Like, how dare you? We don't have to work all the time. And then Saturn is like, what? What do you mean we don't have to work all the time, bro? I can't sit here and listen to you cry. I can't sit here and listen to you moan. Write a song about it. Sell that shit, dude. And then the moon is like, ah, oh, you're so insensitive. How dare you? How dare you? You see? And that's the thing. But with Pisces, it can kind of be the same, because if you have a Pisces moon, or you have a Pisces in the 4th house, you may have had parents that were like kind of somewhat religious, so they also clothed you with this thing like, the world is like this, or not even like this, but you grew up in a household that was like this, and when you go into the world, it's completely different. So it's like, whoa, I was living in an illusion, you know. But with Cancer, it's more so like, wow, the world is so scary and fucking frightening, and like everyone's out to kill me, and everyone hates me. But why does everyone hate me? You know, because my mom loves me, so why can't everyone just treat me the same way my mom does? You know, that type of thing. Yeah, so that's one end, you know. If you could have had a really overprotective parents, just because they wanted to protect you from the harshness of the world. And then when you left home and you realized, oh my god, the world is so hectic and freaked up, you started like kind of being your own home, and you started carrying all those home teachings and like all those home feelings. It's like, you know, you know how to make people feel at home. So like, you're at home, you laugh. So that's why Cancers are really funny, just because they know how to like, I don't know. I don't even know how they just, every single Cancer I know is freaking funny as hell. Like, geez, apart from a whole bunch of other things that they suck at, personally, me, I have so much air in me, and water signs sometimes drive me cuckoo. But Cancers, like, I have a little soft spot for Cancers. Like, a little soft spot for Cancers. Just because they're funny though. If they weren't funny, I'd probably have mad issues with them. And if, oh my god, they're so good at cooking, all of them, like every single Cancer I know, every single Cancer, they can make water and that shit will taste so good. Like, they can just pour you a glass of water and it would just taste so good. So I remember my best friend, like the best friend I grew up with, has a Cancer mom, and she's a Cancer rising. Not her mom, like my friend is the Cancer rising. When I tell you, she could just make rice, like plain rice. She didn't put any salt, but it would taste so fucking good. And her mom would do the same thing too. That's why I think that's where my love for rice came from. But anyway, it's not about me. I just wanted to add that, just like you can say that, well, adding to the fact that cancers are like amazing at food. You know, just once again, food is like a resource of comfort. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the thingy. So cancers could have a really good life. You know, really, they could have like rich parents too. And if they're not rich, like their parents have enough to like supply them with all the comforts that they need. You know, um, they may have parents that are like, don't smoke out there, just smoke weed at home. You know, drink at home better because it's safe at home. And then you may have had friends, like you may have had like a very small group of friends that you invite over and you smoke with them, whatever. And then on the other hand, you may have had really shitty parents. You may have grown up in a very shitty environment. It may have been crazy, like terrible, you know, abusive mother, just abusive divorces, you know. And then that, you as a Cancer Moon, that puts you in a position where you kind of had to play the role of the mother of the house, you know. So if your parents were divorced, then you kind of were the one that was nurturing your brother or your younger sibling, or you were the one that would cook for your alcoholic mother, you know, or you were the one that would always take care of your, I don't know, crackhead father or something like that, you know. You kind of share this with a Capricorn moon. Only Capricorn moon, they grow up quickly, whereas a Cancer moon just learns how to nurture, you know. You know what, I feel like Cancer and Capricorn have so much in common, and not even the fact that they start with CA, you know. And they have Capricorn, and they both have another C after that. It's CANCER, and then CAPRICORN. You know, they both have two C's. Not only because of that, right? But Cancers generally, and Capricorn's like, because Capricorn is like debilitated in the moon, right? Like sometimes you as a Capricorn moon, you'll have to like you're forced to grow up kind of easily. Either you had like celebrity parents and then they taught you how to like kind of make it in the world, so you didn't really have time to, you know, like fuck up, like, you know, just do teenage rebellion things like you'd see in the movies, like in a coming of age movie or something like that. So you had to kind of like already be well adjusted into like what the fuck the world is about, and kind of already know how to like sell things. So you may have, as a Capricorn moon, so you like, this is not a thingy, a video about Capricorn moon, but it's kind of similar to the Cancer aspect, right? But I'll get to that now. So with like the Capricorn, it's like at some point in your very young life, you kind of learn how to make money, or you learn how to deal with like, you know, government paperwork or like taxes or shit like that, you know. But with Cancer, like with the having the shitty aspect of like having a shitty life, or not shitty life, but having like a shitty family, you know, like you may have had a broken up family. I don't know, your mom died when she was young, or when you were younger, your dad died when you were younger, your sister died when you were younger. So that kind of just forced you to not only be kind of like closed and like, because you're already very sensitive and you hold on to those past situations, so like you're very connected to those people, even if they did or not, you're very connected to them, you know. So and like, you know, you kind of like hold on to those things, because that's the thing with Cancers, like they hold on, they're the crabs, so they hold on to dear life, or like any kind of emotional stability, or any, if they got emotionally connected to you, they're holding on to that. That's why a lot of Cancer moons, or even Cancer sun signs, they'll probably like, they're the type to go back to their exes, and they'll go date their exes even if they broke up like 10,000 times. Like if they were connected, boy, they'll go back to you like whatever. It doesn't matter if the new person that they're dating they liked, if their old ex, I mean, obviously some things like, because if you for example, if you're ex partner of a Cancer moon person, and you were like, oh fuck your mother, woo boy, it's done, it's over. Doesn't matter how connected you are, it is over. You know, if you swore at their family members, it's over. Maybe their friends, it's like, oh, okay, whatever, okay, I can forgive you, it's fine. But like most of the time, if you didn't do that, like they'll probably take you back, you know, that type of thing. But yeah, anyway, getting on to Cancer moons with shitty life. So I have a friend who's a Cancer moon who has issues with her mother, and she had to move out when she was like 21, right? So Cancer moon people know how, listen, Cancer moon people know how to hustle. That's the thing they share with Capricorn. They know how to hustle. they can hustle like nobody's fucking business, okay? And they can use those emotions to make other people feel kind of obligated to do things. And that's kind of the negative side of cancers, where cancers can like kind of put their emotions on you and then make you responsible for how they feel, you know? And then if you don't know how to deal with that, they're like, but I would do it for you. How can you not do it for me? How? Oh, they could do this thing where Cancer Moon people could put you in a situation where they could do a lot of things for you, kind of like a Leo sun sign person. They do a whole bunch of things for you, and then they expect the exact same thing. But it's like the way, like how much you're giving to a person, it's like you're not allowing somebody to also like return those things bit by bit because you're giving so fucking much, right? But another thing is that you could also have ulterior motive to you giving. So you could like, I don't know, comfort someone or like offer them someone, and knowing in the back of your head that you're gonna want them to somewhat support you in like financially or like how. So you could even kind of jump into like Scorpio vibes where you like put someone in a situation where you know they're gonna need you, you know. So you like help somebody, like, so you could create like a chaotic situation for someone emotionally, and then you can come like act as a savior and then kind of make them feel like, oh wow, okay, now that you help them, they have to help you, you know. And if they don't, then you're like, oh, how dare you, you know, that type of thing, you know. And then like if you don't, then you just like tell everybody how that person like betrayed you, and then you like turn people against this person, you know, with your emotions. And if somebody comes to you and they're like, but I mean, I feel like she's cool, then woo, that Cancer Moon person is like, how dare you, and then they start crying, well, not crying, but they get like really moody about that shit, you know. But yeah, I keep missing the, oh yeah, Cancer Moons with like hectic parents, right? So they are the type of people that like, I'm sorry, I'm a Gemini moon, like, yo, today I'm like all over with my thoughts, dear God. So with with Cancer Moon people having a shitty life, right? So let's just say you got kicked out as a Cancer Moon, or just something crazy chaotic, like your parents got divorced or whatever just happened, you know. You somewhat learn how to be a nurturing person. So it's like you quickly learn how to nurture yourself, and you quickly know like how to somewhat like make a situation kind of like control the emotional situation of a room, you know, or even of yourself, you know. So because you know you grew up with like a hectic family household, and you know, oh my God, like my parents divorced, so this is what happened, and it happened like this, and it affected me this way emotionally, and it was so hectic like this and da. So now you learn how to kind of like be your own emotional stability, you know. So in that way, you know how to make other people feel at home, but you can also make other people feel like very uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, just based on like the emotions you're giving, you know. So also Cancer Moon people can kind of come like, especially to an air sign or earth sign a little bit, even though earth signs would be like the sextile, but I'll say mostly air signs, like an air sign will come across a Cancer, especially when they're moody, and they'll be like, oh my God, no, you toxic as hell, oh my God, no, whatever. And then because the thing with Cancer, before they get comfortable with you, you have to take time. They have to kind of just see, or not see, they have to feel like you could have a conversation with them, right, for the first time, and then you'll kind of sense that, oh, they're like kind of like they're disconnected, you know, like they're skipping you off, or they're giving you the energy that they're not really interested, or don't ask them anything too personal or whatever. But if you continue to show that Cancer person that you're like, you know, you don't mean any harm, or you know, you like a nice person, then that's when they start opening up to you, and that's when they start showing you how funny they are, you know. But here's the thing with Cancer Moon sign and not so much Cancer Sun signs. Like Cancer Moon signs kind of they're like Gemini, and I was saying this earlier, like they're like Gemini sun signs, even like a little bit Gemini ascending signs, where it's like they don't they're like a bit flighty or like flaky in a way that just you could have. And it's not like a Cancer sun sign, you know, because a Cancer sun sign, it's like if they're connected to you, then you'll be their friend. But with a Cancer moon sign, it's more so like, because this is their feeling, this is their comfort zone, right? So if you say something to a Cancer moon sign that makes them uncomfortable, they might want to just like not speak to you for a while. So they can even jump into Aquarius energies, you know, when you like say something. So it's kind of like with Cancer moon signs, for sure you have to walk on eggshells. And this is why I say they kind of share a little bit of like Aquarius sun sign, a Gemini sun sign, even Aquarius, rising a little bit. Because, like, you could say something and then it's like they have to, like, disconnect from you just because you hurt them, So now they have to be like, oh, wow, you hurt me. Like, you didn't have to say that. Sometimes they can be around you just because they're at a party and there's someone that they're familiar with and, they don't want to be alone at the party. So they hang out with you for a while. But in the back of their mind, they'll know that, no, this is not really going to go anywhere further than, like, what I'm, like, allowing it to go. It's just the party thing. And if you text me, I'm not going to text you back. That type of thing. So these people, like, they can be very much homebodies, stay-at-home people. Because they don't like people. Because they just, I think Cancer moon sign people just don't, like, they get offended, honestly, so fucking easily. Like, so easily. More easily than the Cancer sun sign, I would say, Because this is, like, this is the reactive. This is, like, their home placement, you know what I'm saying? This is where they can react. So they're reacting to really anything that you say. So these are the type of people, like, they'll blow shit up, like, they'll blow shit into proportion. Like, you could have just been like, dude, I don't want to go with you to the movies, I'm sick. And then be like, oh my god, why? Why don't you want to go to the movies with me? What's wrong with me? And you'd be like, no, I'm fucking sick, dude. Why you lie? You don't have to lie. Something wrong with me? Do you just want to go with somebody else? Oh my god. That type of thing, But it's like Cancer's chill. Sometimes people just don't want to, it's not always about you. It's not always about hurting your feelings, So I feel like Cancer, you guys need to get into, like, some type of yoga, meditation, Because I feel like you guys literally can pick up on anything and everything. And it can get very much overwhelming. And I know those, like, times because I have, like, a lot of placements in the 4th house, 8th house, and the 12th house. I have a 12th house stellium. But it's the same thing, because if honestly all the water houses and water signs, it's like you guys pick up on feelings, and it can get so overwhelming, especially when you live with, like, a large group of people. Pisces is different because they are, like, the collective conscious, so they'll just go with the flow. But I think most of our Cancers and Scorpios, it can get, like, once you get overwhelmed, and this is, like, if a Scorpio gets overwhelmed, they'll try to control how people feel by, like, doing secretive, manipulative things to, like, make someone feel a specific way. So they may, like, they may say something and throw someone off, and then that person feels like, oh shit, what did I do wrong? But a Cancer, they'll just be moody, right? And then everybody be like, Cancer, what the fuck is wrong with you, bruh? And then, like, they'll kind of, like, they'll be angry at everybody, If they're feeling mad, at, like, everyone is the reason why this Cancer's feeling mad type of thing. So chill, Cancer. Yeah. And that's the thing. You can, like, see, like, once again, if you're around a air sign person, they won't understand this. So they'll just run far away from you because you acting illogical. They won't like that. So I feel like Cancers, like, be around Taurus. Cancer moons, especially. It's different if you have, like, a Cancer moon and you, like, an Aquarius. I feel like that makes you a lot more caring and, like, a lot more understanding. But actually, no, because you're still flaky as hell. And you can cut someone off so quickly, bruh. Oh my god. Yeah. But Jenny, Cancer moons can cut you off. But it's also, like, if they care about you, if you, like, share an emotional thing, like, if you smoke together, if you had lunch together one time, like there's still, like, a little connection, and they'll still make sure you're good. But it won't be like a, hey, come to my house, let's have pizza type of thing, They'll know, like, they'll put you at an arm's distance type of thing, That's Cancer moon. But it's different for Cancer sun signs. Cancer sun signs, like, these are their actions. So they act on caring. They act on caring about shit. Yeah, that's basically that. But yeah, Cancer moons. I feel like Cancer moons are very lovely people to be around. If you're on their good side too. Because there's the thing with the Cancer moon also. It's like, because the concept of time isn't like the Saturn time, because it's also in the subconscious type of thing. So you may have said something to a Cancer on Tuesday, You may have done something, or just, like, the way you did something to a Cancer on a Tuesday. And then they let it slide, And then you see that Cancer, like, next week, Friday. And then they're acting moody as hell. Right? But they're reacting to what happened last week, Tuesday. Because of, like, there's no actual concept of time within the subconscious. So the time that it hit the Cancer, that, oh my god, you meant this way, or you said this but you actually meant it this way, it hits them only later. That type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Cancer moons, I know you know what I mean. That's the thing. And then some people, it actually, for me, it's kind of like, it can get really scary to be around water signs, because I'm always like, oh shit, like, you can feel everything I'm feeling, bro. That's invading my privacy. You know? But yeah, for the most part, Cancer moon people are super funny, great cooks, can be a little chubby, very sensitive people, especially if they have like if they have like a water sun sign. They could be over lovers. Oh my god, Cancer moon. Y'all could be like Leo's sun sign, and you just overly do things dramatically, and then get snappy or irritated, and then cause emotional drama when people don't give the same to you, or do that thing. If you have like a fire sun sign, then you do that thing where you like go online and you like, some people just don't deserve my kindness. Dramatic shit like that, or you just like don't talk to somebody, but you always make sure somebody kind of gets the hint that you're angry at them. And if they don't get the hint, like if they're an Aquarius and they really don't have time to like figure you out, then you, in the Cancer, when you get moody as hell, you get snappy, like, oh my god, why the fuck you don't care about me? Because you also like, see, water signs test people. That's the thing, they test people. They'll test to see if you care about them. They'll do something just to see if you care about them. And Cancers will do this, like, not to the max, but they'll do a whole bunch of shit just to see if you care about them. But yeah, that's Cancer moon. Next video, I'm going to talk about Cancer moon in the houses. Thank you.